I stepped outside just after dusk, and the fog took everything. Not gray, bone white, heavy as wet wool. The yard vanished. My breath hung in front of me like someone else's, and then I saw it. A darker triangle shape, low in the mist, perfectly still. Shoulders, hood, the exact angle she used to tilt her head while listening to me. I whispered her name. The wind answered with it, softer, closer, carrying the same small laugh she gave the night the car left the road. When I backed inside and locked the door, the shape was already on the porch. The fog is pressing against the glass now. The shape hasn't moved. It doesn't need to. The wind remembers where I left her standing. It started last week. Whenever the wind picked up, I thought I heard something threaded through it. At first I assumed it was just my imagination. Today it was clearer. My name. Not shouted, carried, stretched thin across the air. I stood outside to listen. The trees weren't moving. The air was still, but the sound continued, right beside my ear, close enough that I could feel breath. It isn't the weather. It's waiting for me to answer. Fog collects on my bedroom window each dawn, even in the summer. Today, a finger traced my late father's name in the condensation, Elias. I wiped it away, but it reformed by noon. He passed last winter of heart failure. The tracing matches his handwriting from old letters. Tonight, more words appeared. I'm waiting. No one else lives here with me. The window's locked. I can hear wind whistling outside, carrying what sounds like faint whispers. The name's back again. Clearer this time. My phone buzzed last night with a voicemail from my sister's number. She died 3 years ago in an accident. I played it, hearing her voice clear but distant. I'm coming home soon. The wind is carrying me. I deleted it, thinking it was a prank. But another came this morning. Why didn't you answer? I can hear you breathing. Her tone was calm, like always. I checked the logs. Calls from her old sim, inactive since the funeral. Now the phone rings again. Her name on the screen. I haven't picked up yet. They found my brother's jacket 2 miles from where he disappeared. That was 6 years ago. The search dogs lost his trail in the woods. The wind was strong that day. Yesterday, the jacket appeared on my porch. Not delivered, just there. It still smells like pine and rain. His name is still written inside the collar in our mother's handwriting. But there's something in the pocket now that wasn't there before. A note in his handwriting. It says, I can hear you calling me. We stopped searching 5 years ago. We stopped calling his name into those woods. The weather app sent a notification that didn't make sense. Conditions favorable for remembering, it said. No temperature, no wind speed. Just a pulsing gray screen that refreshed every few seconds. Outside, the air felt thick, like standing underwater. I closed the app, but it reopened itself. Another alert appeared. You have been here before. I uninstalled it. The notification sound still plays at the same time every day, right before the wind changes direction. I got an email forwarded from my own address, sent to myself, from myself, but I never sent it. The subject line is tomorrow's date. The body of the email contains a list of times: 7:23 a.m., 11:47 a.m., 2:33 p.m., 8:19 p.m. No explanation, just times. I replied asking who was accessing my account. The reply came from my address again. You sent this yesterday. Check your sent folder. My sent folder shows that I sent it. I'm writing down these times. It's 7:20 a.m. now. Something is about to happen in 3 minutes. I was going through old photos on my computer when I noticed something. There's a picture from my birthday last year. Everyone's smiling, normal party photo. But there's fog on the camera lens in one corner. Except it's not fog. It looks like breath condensing on glass. The photo was taken in July. Indoors. With a digital camera. I zoomed in on that corner and saw the faint outline of teeth. The file was modified yesterday while I was at work. No one else has my password. The birthmark is bigger now. My daughter's school photo sits on my desk. Same frame, same photo for 2 years now. She's wearing her blue sweater, smiling. This morning, the sweater was red. I know it was blue. I took her to that photo day. I remember the blue sweater because she spilled juice on it afterward. I called my ex-wife. She said it was always red. I'm looking at my phone's photo backup. Red sweater in every copy. But I can see the juice stain exactly where it should be. On a sweater that was never red. Whenever I speak alone in the house, my voice echoes back a moment later, not from the walls, but from the vents. It started sometime after the power outage. I said hello, testing. Nothing immediate, then delayed. Hello. In my tone, almost as if concerned. I tried sentences. They return exact. Tonight, I whispered about my missing wife. The echo replied, she's here, but not delayed this time. The vents are silent now. I haven't spoken since. I noticed it during my morning routine. When I raised my hand, my reflection raised its hand just a half-second later. Just once, I thought. Tired brain playing tricks. But it kept happening. Brushing teeth, combing hair. Always that tiny delay. This morning, I stood perfectly still in front of the bathroom mirror for 5 minutes. My reflection blinked first, and then it smiled. I haven't smiled in weeks. I'm still standing here. It's doing things that I'm not doing. It just reached for the doorknob on its side. I noticed it first in the bathroom mirror this morning while brushing my teeth. My reflection paused for a second longer than I did, mouth still open as I closed mine. I blinked and it caught up. Later, in the car, the rear view showed my face smiling faintly when I wasn't. I adjusted the mirror, but it persisted. Tonight, as I type this, I see it in the laptop screen, my eyes staring back, unblinking, while I look away. It's not a trick of the light. My reflection has started moving on its own now. The power went out about an hour ago. I lit a candle for light. Now I have two shadows. One moves with me, the other lags slightly behind. When I turn my head, it waits just a fraction too long. It's positioned wrong, too. The angle doesn't match the flame. I tested it. I blew out the candle. In the darkness, I felt it step closer. When I relit the wick, the second shadow was already touching my feet. I spotted my favorite jacket draped over a chair, even though I hadn't worn it in weeks. It was dusty, but still warm, almost as if someone had just slipped it off. Later, I glanced outside and saw someone wearing the exact same jacket, jeans, and shoes. Their posture and walk mirrored mine perfectly. I called out, and they turned. The face was mine, but not quite. Too smooth, too symmetrical, like a sketch instead of the real thing. It smiled and waved before disappearing into the woods. The bus stop bench creaks under me, though I'm the only one sitting. The streetlight above flickers, once, twice, then dies. Through the fogged window of the idle bus, a shape leans over the empty driver's seat. Its fingers tap the steering wheel, not in rhythm, but in reply. The headlights blink on. My reflection in the glass doesn't move when I do. The door hisses open, but no one gets off. The seat beside me sinks down, reeking of wet leather and something sharper. The engine revs. My stop isn't for 12 more miles. Every evening, a shadow appears under my front door, as if someone were standing outside. It started last week after the storm. I peek through the peephole, empty hallway, but the shadow shifts slightly, like feet adjusting. Last night I heard faint scratching, nails on wood. I called out, but there was no answer. This morning, the doorknob turned on its own, just a fraction. The shadow's there now, longer than before. It's not the neighbors. The building manager says no one's reported any missing keys. The man next door died in April. No family came. The house has been empty since then. I've been mowing his lawn every Saturday because it seemed like the right thing to do. This morning, I found a note tucked under my door. It said, "Thank you for keeping it nice," in handwriting I don't recognize. The grass clippings on my porch spell out a name I've never heard before. When I went to mow today, someone had already done it. The mower is still warm. My neighbor leaves for work at 7:15 a.m. Every single day. I hear his door close. His car starts exactly 90 seconds later. This has happened for 8 months. Today, his door closed at 7:15. His car started 90 seconds later. But I saw him leave at 6:30 this morning. I was out getting my newspaper. We made eye contact. He waved. I heard his car leave. But at 7:15, his door still closed. His car still started. I can hear someone walking around in his apartment right now. His car is still gone. I hear footsteps in the attic above my bed, pacing slowly. They began after I found that old photo album in the basement labeled Mr. Gone. No pictures were inside, just empty slots. The steps match a man's gait, deliberate and heavy. I went up there. Dust was undisturbed. No one. But they continue nightly. Last evening, a floorboard creaked downstairs, like Descent. The album's on my table now, pages turning faintly in the breeze. The footsteps are closer tonight. Every night at 2:14 a.m., a man stands at the end of my driveway, perfectly still, perfectly silent. I can't see his face, just a tall silhouette under the street lamp. Last night, he raised his arm and pointed at me. Tonight, he's standing closer. I didn't see him move, he's just closer. My father's been dead 3 years. His phone was buried with him. I watched them close the casket. Last night, my phone lit up with voicemail from his number. I didn't recognize the voice at first. It was reading my grocery list, the one I wrote this morning, word for word and something approximating his cadence. Then it said my address. Then it described what I'm wearing right now. The voicemail is still playing. It's been 4 hours. The battery won't die. I can hear wind in the background. I've been getting interference on my baby monitor. Just static, mostly. Sometimes voices I assume are from neighbors' devices. Last night, I heard someone singing a lullaby my grandmother used to sing. She died before my daughter was born. I never told anyone about that song. The camera panned slowly across the nursery on its own now. It stops at the corner where the rocking chair sits. The chair is moving slightly. The song starts again every night at 8:17 p.m. That's when my grandmother always used to put me to bed. We paid a fortune for the Eternal Portrait. They map your neural patterns into a photonic crystal, a thinking, feeling snapshot. Mom's is in the living room. She's been quiet for years. But this morning, the crystal was warm to the touch, and in my mind, clear as day, I heard her scream, "Let me out." Just once. Now it's cold and silent again. I'm worried we didn't preserve her. We buried her alive in glass. My grandmother's garden doesn't grow plants, it grows echoes. A soft cry from the rose patch is from when I fell as a child. The angry shout by the sundial is my parents' last fight. Lately, a new sound has taken root. A low, wet gurgle I don't recognize. It's spreading from the compost heap. I'm afraid because memories shouldn't mutate, and this one sounds hungry. The wind howls my childhood secrets outside my window nightly. At first, faint words, my first lie, whispered. I closed the curtains, but it seeped through. Now louder, names of lost friends, dates of regrets. No storms reported. I recorded it. Playback was clear, my voice reciting. The wind's picking up, carrying my current address. It's not stopping at memories anymore.